This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Thursday, December 5th, 2024. I'm Alex Brown. As the 2025 legislative session comes into view in the coming weeks, legislators in and around Allen County are going public with their views on the idea of a new casino in New Haven. State Senator Andy Zay of Huntington says he's planning to author the legislation that would allow Full House Resorts to move its gaming license from Rising Sun to New Haven, where the Las Vegas-based company wants to build a $500 million casino and hotel.
And if this license moves, it has a great potential to the state for state gaming revenues for a significant increase. And as Mayor McMichael has done his due diligence, he thinks it can have a great impact on for his community in a very positive way, creating a destination of a $500 million investment, over 1,200 jobs, and over 1 million visitors to his community every year. And for my style of legislating, I'm going to support the locals every day of the week.
However, Senator Liz Brown of Fort Wayne has a differing view. She called Full House's revenue and tax projections hyperbolic. In her view, the legislature needs to have a larger conversation about its goals as it pertains to gaming revenue before addressing licenses. Governor Eric Holcomb is giving his support behind plans to repurpose the Indiana State Prison site in Michigan City after it is vacated when a new prison facility is completed in a few years' time. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report the governor and Michigan City Mayor Angie Nelson Deutsch signed a letter of intent this week indicating the state's willingness to transfer the property to the city. The prison site will be vacated when construction on the new $1.2 billion Northwest Indiana Correctional Facility in Westville is completed in 2027. Southern Indiana Rehabilitation Hospital is under new ownership. Pennsylvania-based PAM Health said this week it has acquired the new Albany Medical Facility, though financial terms of the deal are not being disclosed. The hospital, which will now be known as PAM Health Rehabilitation Hospital of Greater Indiana North, provides rehab services for a variety of medical issues, including brain injury, orthopedic, and stroke. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, 1 goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
Governor-elect Mike Braun has selected former Pentagon official Lisa Hirschman as his Secretary of Management and Budget and former state lawmaker Matthew Ubelor as his Secretary of Transportation and Infrastructure. As the state's chief financial officer, Hirschman will manage a slew of fiscal agencies and boards, including the State Budget Agency, the State Board of Accounts, the Department of Administration, the Department of Revenue, and the Indiana Finance Authority. She was formerly chief management officer at the U.S. Department of Defense, where she was the third highest-ranking official. Ubelor will oversee the Department of Transportation, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, the Broadband Office, and the Northwest Indiana Regional Development Authority. He served in the House representing District 62 from 2010 to 2015. He was most recently the Senior Vice President of Operations at White Stallion Energy, a now-closed Evansville-based mining company. Governor Eric Holcomb and other stakeholders joined Indiana State Parks officials this week to dedicate the cornerstone plaque for the lodge at Potato Creek, the first state park lodge built since 1939. Officials said construction was progressing on schedule. Preliminary development of parking lots, construction of a new water tower, and the installation of the trunk for water and sewer lines are underway. Indiana Department of Natural Resources Director Dan Bortner.
Being able to go back and have a lodge in that section of the state for Hoosiers and our guests to enjoy, we're pretty excited about that. This particular project, we broke ground for this in October of last year, and just it's been a monumental undertaking trying to prep the site, get it ready. We want to make sure that we do this right. We're going to get one shot at it. And so we want to make sure that everything is as it should be.
The lodge is set to open in late 2026 or early 2027. Girl Scouts of Central Indiana CEO Danielle Shockey is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.